Hi, my name is Sylvia Ash Bullard and welcome to TVC 22's bi-weekly news show called the Rockland Bulletin. Within the last month, Russell County OPP say they conducted 20 ride checks and arrested and charged 3 males in relation to impaired driving. One from Rockland, another from North Dundas, and the other from Hull, Quebec. The men will appear in court in Lorignal in November. Drivers charged with excess blood alcohol are subject to an automatic 90-day driver's license suspension, and their vehicles are impounded for 7 days. OPP are emphasizing to the public, please don't drink and drive. National Teen Drivers Safety Week in October is a public awareness campaign to educate young drivers about road safety. Drivers aged 15 to 24 make up the largest number of injuries and deaths on our roadways, according to Police Traffic Constable Michelle Vandal. We often see young drivers involved in collisions where distracted driving, speeding, impairment, and failure to use seatbelts are factors. We need to emphasize safe driving practices for this age group. Young drivers also make up the largest number of single vehicle collisions. When you are behind the wheel, make safe driving your #1 priority, said Constable Vandal. Your life, your passengers' lives, and the lives of other road users are at stake. We all have a responsibility when it comes to helping young drivers be safe drivers. Parents should teach children safe driving behavior by being a safe driver yourself. Monitor your teens' driving even after they get their license. Remind your young driver about seasonal dangers like pedestrian and cyclist safety, back to school, and poor weather conditions. Passengers should not distract the driver. Speak up if the driver is speeding or using the phone. Wear your seatbelt, and drivers make sure safe driving is your #1 priority. Follow the speed limit. Speeding makes the vehicle harder to control and increases stopping distances required to avoid hazards or unexpected road conditions, as well as other vehicles, bicycles, and pedestrians. Texts and phone calls can wait until you are at your destination, or safely pull over and stop driving to use your phone. Buckle up no matter how short the distance you are driving. The Clarence-Rockland Fire Department is working on a policy to deal with post-traumatic stress disorder and to help firefighters deal with the stress that comes with the job. This comes after the Ontario Ministry of Labour instructed fire departments to implement their own PTSD policies. The Clarence-Rockland Fire Department is beginning the process to set up a PTSD policy and have asked for input from area firefighters. A Clarence-Rockland firefighter committed suicide this past June, which is what started the conversation about mental health within area fire departments. 4 paramedics from the emergency services of the United Counties of Prescott and Russell have been honored for their exemplary service during the Ontario Paramedic Association of Chiefs Gala in Ottawa. The 4 are Eric Larocque, Yves La Rivière, Mario Perard, and Elise Laporte, who were each decorated with the Emergency Medical Services Exemplary Service Medal of the Governor-General of Canada. Emergency Services Director Michel Chrétien said he was extremely proud of the hard work and dedication of the team of paramedics in Prescott and Russell. The City of Clarence-Rockland and the Société Historique Saint-Pascal-Bélan invite you to the official launch of the Heritage Tour on Friday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Town Hall. The Clarence-Rockland Heritage Tour will offer visitors the opportunity to discover the city's history and learn about its founders, with a flyer and historical panel installed in front of existing structures. Please RSVP with Marie-Yves Bélanger. Heart to Heart, Helping Our Communities, returns to the Lucien Delorme Community Center Saturday, November 4th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., featuring over 30 vendors for holiday shopping. Santa Claus will be meeting the kids, plus there will be a barbecue as well. All proceeds will be donated to the Riceville Food Bank. The City of Clarence-Rockland has launched a financial assistance program for artistic and cultural activities in the city. community organizations and committees and artists collectives that are interested in organizing an artistic or cultural activity can download an application form in the Culture and Recreational section on the municipal website. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business is welcoming the federal government's pledge to reduce the small business tax rate to 9% by 2019. A spokeswoman for the CFIB says the decision will pump hundreds of millions of dollars back into the small business community and help entrepreneurs create more jobs. But Marilyn Bro-Poulin says the Federation remains concerned about some of the Liberal government's tax proposals, including changes to income sprinkling rules. Clarence-Rockland Mayor Guy Desjardins says he categorically refuses to even entertain the idea of a 5.4% tax increase, which was presented in the first draft of the United Council of Prescott-Russell's budget. Desjardins says he will never approve a 5.4% increase because he's already competing with Orleans when it comes to taxes. In UCPR Treasurer Julie Ménard-Bro's presentation, that number represents $21.71, an increase per $100,000 evaluation. Stéphane Parisien, the county's chief administrative officer, says the 5.4% could actually drop before tax bills are sent out because new growth would be taken into account. And here is Andrea Delorme with Business Talk.
Welcome to Business Talk. I'm Andrea Delorme from the Clarence-Rockland Chamber of Commerce. Let me introduce you to Marie-Jo Sweet Eats. Good morning, Brandon. Tell me who is the new owner of Marie-Jo?
It's my wife and I, Nikki Mallon and Brandon Mallon, and we're a local family here in Rockland for the last 5 years. I myself have been working in Rockland for over 7 years. And we have 4 kids who are very active, so we're all over the place in the community. So maybe you've seen us at the swimming pool or at the dance or soccer, this and that.
As new owner, what brought you to purchase Marie-Jo?
We saw that it had been for sale last season, and we had talked about it. And then this year, when we noticed that nobody jumped on it, we thought that we should approach the owners just for a conversation. That's how it started. I think we invited them over for coffee on a Sunday afternoon in March, and this led to that, and here we are.
What product does Marie-Jo Sweet Eats offers?
So obviously we have a full dairy bar, hard ice cream, soft ice cream, sundaes, shakes, the whole shebang. We also do ice cream cakes and traditional cakes. So you have the option here, if you order a cake from us, my wife is the cake boss, so to speak, but she'll do any custom cake, fondant, ice cream, edible figures. We do edible images on cakes. So we're not just a dairy bar and an ice cream shop. You can also get cakes and traditional cakes as well.
What are your plans for Marie-Jo in the next year?
So last month we started serving coffee. So we rolled out our full espresso bar, and that's been going very well. We have our little group of regulars that seems to be growing every day, and people are interested in coming in to try it. So that was our first plan when we took over the business, is we wanted to operate all year. So we knew we had to come up with different offerings that were in our wheelhouse. We've both been in the business for a long time. So we launched the full espresso bar, and then by early November, maybe late October if we're lucky, we'll be offering soups and sandwiches during the week. So our friends at Chez Le Boulanger up the road, who have fantastic bread and baked goods, and you're probably familiar with it, they'll be supplying us with the bread for all of these offerings, and that'll be in the next month or so. So that's our plan for the winter, and then we'll reevaluate once the weather starts getting nicer and see if we can come up with anything else.
Who can come here?
Everybody. The majority of our business is children, and we know that. So when we were coming up with these ideas on how to make the operation for season, we wanted to make sure that we stuck to the roots of the business. And when we were giving it a facelift and this and that, we wanted to make sure that it was still very kid friendly, and kids and parents with children felt comfortable coming in, even if it was for a coffee and not ice cream. So I have something for everybody. I mean, we can spoon feed your 1-year-old some ice cream while you enjoy a latte if that's what you'd like. But there's something for everybody here.
As a new business owner in Rockland, what do you want to bring to the population?
We wanted to, when we took over this business, we felt, the people would ask often, are you going to change the name, or what do you plan on doing with the place? But we wanted to, we feel that we owe it to, the people who sort of brought this business to where it is, to keep the name, albeit change the branding a bit, but really to make sure that we stuck to the roots of Marie-Jo and just gave it sort of a fresh take. So we want to make sure that Rockland has that staple in town that everybody knows for whatever reason. Obviously, right now it's ice cream, and soon the coffee and lunch will catch on. And we just want to make sure, we're not from here, and this place has been around much longer than us. So we want to make sure we stay true to the Rockland community.
Do you have upcoming events here at Marie-Jo Sweet Eats?
We're going to be showing our face a couple different places before the holidays. We're at the Holiday Bazaar at Chèvre de Colombe, or Knights of Columbus. We're doing an event at an outdoor Christmas sort of holiday gift sale in the parking lot of TMD. That's sort of in the works right now. And we're trying to arrange a float for the Rockland Christmas Parade and involve our kids somehow. They're pretty excited about that. So instead of watching it from the sidelines, we'd like to be strolling down the street and take part in it.
What are your business hours?
We're open 9 to 9 every day during the week, and then on weekends we're open 10:30 to 9 p.m.
Even Sundays?
Even Sundays. We wanna remain consistent. I mean, living here, one of the common things that I hear, being a bartender in town and listening to the chitter chatter, oh, there's nothing ever to do in Rockland, or everything's closed, or this and that. So we're trying to remain consistent, and on a Saturday or Sunday evening, even in the winter, if you want to come and have a latte and listen to music or get out of the house, and we'll be sort of a fresh face in the area.
How can people reach you?
Right now we're working on a website, but the majority of communication is either done face-to-face, or we're very active on Facebook. So, for example, about 50% of our cake orders are done just through Facebook Messenger, and that's how people feel comfortable communicating with us. And if there's ever a language barrier, we have staff that help us out with that, and so far it's been smooth sailing.
Well, thank you, Brandon, for having us today, and congratulations on your new business venture.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Andrea Delhomme for Business Talk.
Thank you, Andrea. This is one of 14 programs. In total, 48 innovative community-led projects are being funded through Ontario's Local Poverty Reduction Fund, which help groups disproportionately affected by poverty get into housing, develop skills, and find employment. These affected by poverty include women, single parents, people with disabilities, youth, newcomers, visible minorities, seniors, and Indigenous peoples. Part of this funding supports data collection, which will help develop more effective poverty reduction programs across the province. Ontario is investing over $16 million in communities across Ontario, including over $6 million to 20 employment and income security projects, more than $5 million to 14 projects from Indigenous-led organizations, $3 million to 12 projects that are homelessness related, and more than $4.5 million to 14 projects that are related to food security. The 12th edition of the Radio Telethon benefiting the Hawkesbury General Hospital Foundation took place October 15th at the Robert Hartley Sports Complex. The annual Radio Telethon was also broadcast on your TV Hawkesbury with live reports throughout the day and evening on Jewel 92.5 Clarence-Rockland and Jewel 107.7 Hawkesbury. Over $506,000 was raised, with the money going to the purchase of a new CT scanner and MRI machine. The infection control team at the Hawkesbury and District General Hospital marked National Infection Control Week, October 16th to the 20th, by sharing the results of an infection prevention project. Promoting patient hand hygiene before meals was launched in May 2017 as a patient engagement and safety improvement project. HDH is leading the way by encouraging patients to take an active role in their care through effective hand hygiene practices. The project, promoting patient hand hygiene before meals, aims at engaging patients who are admitted to the hospital in their own safety by reminding them of the importance of hand hygiene and assisting them with hand washing at mealtime. Patient hand hygiene before meals can reduce the rates of hospital-acquired infections such as C. difficile. The project is a collaborative effort, and encouraging patient hand hygiene before meals has become part of the daily routine for the kitchen staff and the nursing staff in the North Wing, the East Wing, and the Intensive Care Unit. HGH staff compliance rate for hand hygiene has climbed well above provincial standards since the team launched a hospital-wide awareness campaign in May 2016. As a learning tool, a group of 30 hand hygiene champions from all departments produced Keep It Clean, an in-house video presenting the 4 moments of hand hygiene in a healthcare setting. The video was the 3rd most viewed across Canada in a competition organized by the Canadian Patient Safety Institute. The video is still online at HGH YouTube channel. Here is Stephanie Simar with Health and Wellness.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and these are brand new segments of Health and Wellness. I will be speaking with Dr. Paul on subjects that matter to you. Can you tell me about pot? Is it a good thing or a bad thing to consume pot, and why?
Since the Trudeau government came into power, everybody's been asking me a question about cannabis, pot, marijuana. What are we going to do about it? Is it safe, and so on? And the question that was asked of me right now is an important one, particularly that we're going to be legalizing marijuana in July of 2018, which is not long from now. So let's start from the beginning. What is pot? Pot, unlike opioids and other medications, is a different type of medication that is derived from a plant, and it's and from the cannabis plant. And when smoked or eaten, can actually make you feel good, make you high. It does not, however, unlike opioids and other medications, it can't kill you. However, you can be addicted to it, although not as much. And so people say, so what's the problem? Why are you worried about pot? And why are you worried about pot legalization and access, easy criminal-free, access to marijuana? Well, I'll tell you why. The issue is that there are nothing that you take. It has no side effects. I mean, nothing. Even if it's natural, if it's a plant, whatever, you can, there's all kinds of things in the air. And we do know that with marijuana, smoking it at a young age and smoking a lot of it at a young age, particularly before the age of 21, can actually cause long-term brain damage, memory damage, intellectual capacity, decreased IQ, and so on. And so we strongly believe that once it's legalized, it should not be consumed by minors. And this is why the Canadian Medical Association, the Ontario Public Health Association recommended to the government that 21 and over be the age at which we give it. Now, there are some other side effects of it. For example, one of the most important ones are a societal side effect. So, for example, if you drive stoned, you can get killed and kill somebody. So that's another issue that we worry about, and how do we monitor that? Because unlike alcohol, we have no way of measuring, levels of cannabis in a person. So I think those are the preoccupations that we have: access to cannabis, making sure that people take it recreation in a safe way, both in terms of not exposing the children. Don't forget you're smoking it as well, so it's going to have some smoking effects. And also, we're also leery about edible marijuana. Edible marijuana, brownies, cookies, those type of things have been very popular in states where it's legalized right now, Colorado and Washington State in the United States of America. But they've had some problems because people, unlike smoking it, it takes about an hour for the high to come after you eat marijuana. And what's been happening in the United States is people have been taking one, not feeling anything, eating another cookie or whatever, and then getting overdosed and having to go to the hospital. And so we need to learn from those things before we do that. One of the other things I want to say is that once it's legalized, we need to be careful and not normalize it and not entice it to the young people for those reasons. I think if used in a proper way, in a legal way, I think that it's fine. Especially don't smoke and drive, obviously. By the way, 30 to 40% of our youth in our area say they've been in a car with a stoned driver, and that's disturbing as well. So we need to be very aware of that. One of the other things that I want to talk about is there are medicinal purposes. There are medicinal uses more and more for marijuana, and that's different. Legally in Canada right now, I as a physician can prescribe you or anybody marijuana. Problem is we don't have many studies on how it works, what the dose is, and we're not going to give a 4-year-old marijuana to smoke. So there are a lot of companies now, there's a lot of research being done on formulations, taking the chemical that's out of what's the THC and the cannabinoids that are in, that are what causes the high and the pain relief, and doing a lot of studies on PTSD, anxiety disorders, and so on, and a lot of studies in Israel doing even the effects on cancer. Cancer and severe epilepsy. So there are some potential medicinal effects, and it's legal in Canada to take it for medical reasons. However, our major concern is going to arise once it becomes available. And so this is why the Canadian government has now put out a sort of a blanket statement of saying, okay, 18 and over, but it could change in province. Where is it going to be available? In Ontario, it's going to be available through the LCBO special stores designated for that. And so as long as, from the public health point of view, those are our concerns. So there are public health implications to that. We don't want young children to smoke, kids to smoke it. We don't want kids to learn to smoke it. And personally, I think 21 and under should probably be the better way, because we know that the brain develops until 25 years of age. Certainly 18 maybe be too young, but that's debatable. But the bottom line is that young children should not have access to it, and we should have mechanisms in place that control its sale and are able to control drivers who are stoned.
Thank you, Stephanie. The Rockland Nationals hosted a minor hockey day in Rockland at the CIH Arena during the month of October. The Rockland Nats Novice B team were the winners of the event. They defeated the Cornwall Colts in the finals by a score of 4-3 in overtime. The first star of the game was Connor Beattie of the Rockland Nats Novice B. Mathieu Blanchette also of the Rockland Nats Novice B was named third star of the game. Second star honors went to Connor McCormick of the Cornwall Colts. The Ottawa Fury have completed their first season in the USL. The team from the national capital finished in 10th place, therefore not making the playoffs. The Fury captured 38 points in the final standings. They won a total of 9 games, lost 10, and tied 14. Great North Wrestling returns to Rockland with the final event of the year on Sunday, November 5th at 1 p.m. at the Jean-Marc Lalonde Arena. Advanced tickets start at $15 with ringside seating available for the ultimate fan and experience. You can purchase your tickets through ticketweb.ca or at Jumbo Pizza Rockland or Snap Fitness Rockland. The Royal Canadian Legion Branch 554 and Jewel 92.5 reminds you to honor those that made the ultimate sacrifice by wearing your poppy. Legion volunteers will have poppies and pins available for a donation at Para, your independent grocer, and at Walmart. I'm Sylvia Ash Bullard with the Rockland Bulletin.